Yeah, you a dog person, dude. Sound like a dog person conversation to me.
So what makes a dog person a dog person?
You are in love with your dog. Your dog is a part of your family, and you care and love for your dog. You're a dog person.
I haven't. I mean, obviously, I love her. I tell her I love her. I don't feel like I'm where other people are.
Yeah, that's like okay. I say it this way: you're a dog person, but you're not like infatuated with dogs. Like you're not like, oh, since I got one dog, now all dogs are great. Like I'm not gonna say you're that, but you're definitely in love with your dog.
I guess I'll give a little bit of history.
Oh, you did say we were recording. My bad. I completely forgot. I was just talking about the dog. Hey, what makes a person a dog person?
That's what I. Yeah. We can put a poll and comment.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe.
You do gotta comment and subscribe.
Yeah, they go together and like.
That, yeah.
And like.
And share.
So, growing up in Chicago, they bred their dogs, they trained their dogs to be, dog fighters. And, I don't know if I had
dog fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Had the conversation with you, and I, when Michael Vick got in trouble, I just didn't understand why that was such a big deal, because I just thought that was normal. I remember a couple of times just walking down the street, and, there'd just be a random dog, and obviously we little, so we don't know what we're supposed to do. We run away, the dog ran up and didn't take a chunk out of me, but he left a mark.
I miss.
And then, of course, installing internet. You go into people's houses and you don't know what kind of dogs they have. So they swear up and down, dogs don't bite. And I've had, but the one story that really gets to me is, I don't know what I've said on the podcast, but there was a house I was installing DirecTV. And there was a medium-sized dog and a small dog. Small dogs, they are just mean, ornery, whatever you want to call them. They just like to just cause ruckus. So the small dog, he was barking, trying to get at me, and then the medium dog was like kind of bumping him out the way, like, no, leave him alone. He cool. He family. Mm-hmm. So I go outside. I start running wires. I put up the dish and everything. I come back in, and then the little dog, he starts barking again, and then the medium dog bites me. I can't trust dogs. Okay.
I was gonna say you say that as you're owning a dog. I was gonna say one thing when you were telling your story. You was walking down the street. I was gonna say, did you speak to everybody you meet? Did you say, hey, as I walk down the street?
What a wonderful kind of day.
Yeah, whatever. I could remember how.
I didn't know which way you gonna do. I was gonna say cruising my 6 foot, but that wouldn't be walking.
No, no. I was just thinking about Arthur.
Yeah, that's listen. One of the greatest theme songs. Hey, we made a video about that. Maybe we should put that as the recommended video. Oh, you know how they do little eye things? Like
we made a video about it?
We I don't know if we officially ranked the top, 10 theme songs.
Oh, talking with Dexter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking, my mind was thinking like we made like a separate video about the Arthur theme song. Mm-mm. That's why I was like, we made a video? Like, when did this happen? Like, was I there? Was I alert?
Were you conscious?
Was I conscious? Did I know about it?
Talking to you in your sleep and just getting these subliminal messages. Larry, do you like Arthur?
Hey! I don't know if you had anything you wanted to talk about. Well, I guess welcome to another episode of the Big
and Short of It All. I was about to say
this is a long intro.
We didn't know we were recording.
This is true. This is very true. We were just talking about it. Also, comment if you know the difference between dog time and human time. I'm curious to know about that as well.
Just to specify, because you're not talking about dog years, but as far as a dog.
Oh yeah. How dogs perceive time.
Yeah.
As far as like, is 1 minute 3 days? Is 1 minute 2 hours? If you know, let me know, because I would like to know. I could always look it up, but I want to trust you guys.
Dog experts, tap in.
Yeah, they out there. Everybody's a dog. You could be classified as... Okay.
Nope, we ain't going there.
What I was going to say was, I don't know if... Do you have anything specific you want to talk about?
No, I've got a couple movies that I saw, but I didn't want to do a review on one of them.
Okay. Because I have a couple more would you rathers we could do.
Okay.
Just to kind of get the conversational juices flowing, even though they're already flowing. Because we were talking before they recorded, but
she said she wanted to know about your juices.
As she licked you all night. You ready for the first one?
Let's go.
All right. First one is, would you rather have Iron Man's suit, but it's always low on battery, or have Spider-Man's abilities, but you're afraid of heights?
Definitely Spider-Man.
I get it.
Yeah, because we've seen what happens when Iron Man's suit runs out of power. He can't move. He's just sitting there.
When did that happen? Like that? He was just sitting there like that?
Let's see. So Rhodey got the arc reactor messed up in his chest, and he just plummeted to the ground. Became paralyzed. What's his name? I want to say Iron Man 3. I don't know. I remember he was flying, and then he fell like in the ice place where he met the kid. I don't know if that had anything to do with low battery, but then of course when he was fighting Captain America and Bucky, he slammed the little thing into his arc reactor, and he got incapacitated.
But was that low on battery, or was that the battery just destroyed?
I mean, I would assume that if your battery runs out, let's say it goes to 0%, it would essentially be the same thing.
But is 0 the same as 10%?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm at 10%, then my first thing is going to be, hey, I need to get this thing back to charge. So whether I want to enjoy it, and then the thing runs out of battery, or hey, I got to get this thing back to charge. And I'm not going to ever enjoy it.
No, I get that. I guess what I'm saying is like, I get the difference between like enjoying it versus like charging it up. But I guess what I'm looking at is like, if you're like a phone, if your phone is at 0%, obviously you can't do anything with it. But if it's at like 12%, you can still do stuff on it. You just have a short amount of time that you can use it. But you can still use it. Right.
So every time I use it, it's going to be like, you're not really going to enjoy it, as opposed to Spider-Man's powers. I mean, I've got spider sense all the time. I can, use web. I just can't like traverse around the city. But at least, I can actually enjoy it on the ground.
I mean, you can always just go around doing flips.
Yeah. And then you can go, wrestling.
Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, second one.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'll do a Spider-Man as well.
Okay.
For the record, I didn't disagree with you as far as like, yeah, you can't enjoy it, but at the same time, I was just like, you can still use it. Yeah. It's just low.
There's some use, and there's no, with technology that advanced, who knows how long 10% will last.
True. Second one is, would you rather be Doctor Strange, but you have no control over the portals you open, or be Ant-Man, but you can only shrink to the size of a grain of sand?
I would never pick Ant-Man. Well, I mean, I guess there's some positives to being Ant-Man.
But a grain of sand is small.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to go somewhere, you would take forever. So, I mean, I would assume you would just be a thief and just sneak into places and go back to full size. Portals, I mean, Doctor Strange is more than just portals, even though portals is like the cool part. So my thing is, obviously Doctor Strange, he walks around like he's a normal person. But with all the deals with the magic people, demons, whatever you want to call them, like what is that? But you didn't say that that's a part of it. You just said you
just can't control the portals you open.
So just portals.
Yeah, you're Doctor Strange and everything like that encompasses that. The issue is you can't control the portal you open. So if you open a portal, you have no control over where it goes to. Or I take it as the fact that the portal's open or closed. They may stay open longer, or you may just. That's how I look at it.
Slice you in half.
That could happen as well.
You know what I think is so interesting is with Doctor Strange, I guess that's I can understand that, but there are some games or shows or something, and somebody opened a portal, and one person goes through, it closes. But then sometimes somebody opens a portal, one person goes through, and it's just sitting there, open and open and open.
Yeah, it's
who decides how long a portal stays open?
The writer. I told you that. I've said it multiple times. The writer is God in the world of TV and film. Or producers. I don't know.
I would like for you to write. I mean, that's horrible. It makes it sound like I'm trying to give you homework. But I would love to see what you would come up with.
As far as what?
Just anything that you would want.
I got stories on deck already. I told you about that. I got them in my notepad right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had like vivid dreams that I woke up and I wrote down in like in story form, but they're like not fully fleshed out.
Okay.
They would be in my mind. They would be dope. And go back to that question I asked you like a previous episode. I don't know when we've done so many. Where like if you could put your dreams like project them. Oh, I watch mine for sure. Because some of mine just be like elaborate.
I just have the same escaping shit. So anyway, I used to have.
That sounds sad, Jax.
Yeah, I know. And I always get caught.
God, dog. Do you feel like, was there ever a point in your life where you feel like you could kind of not control your dreams, but just like if you thought about a certain thing before you went to sleep, like it could manifest, you know what I'm saying? Like you can control what you dream about. You ever thought about that at one point in time?
I can't say if I have or haven't, but I know I never tried. Have you done it or thought about? Well, I mean,
no, I've thought about it, but I've never like. It's a thought I had when I was younger, but I've never like actively like tried to do it.
I know I've seen movies or TV shows where people were like, if you eat right before bed, then you have a nightmare.
Yeah, I've heard about that too.
And I don't really have nightmares, but I sure be eating.
You ever had a night terror?
No, those I love hearing stories about them, but that's some.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, I like scary movies.
That's true. That is true.
But that's some like if that happened in real life, because like okay, so I haven't heard anything. What's the word? Like physical that lasted. Like let's say you're stuck in bed, you see this paralysis demon. Right?
Yeah, I think you're talking about something different.
So what's the night terror?
You're talking about sleep. I think you're talking about like sleep paralysis, where like your mind is awake but your body can't move. From my thinking of night terrors is kind of like there's like a physical aspect of where like for instance, okay, people who come back from the army, how like they like if they hear like noises and they wake up and like they may choke the person next to them or
Gotcha.
like. That's why I was like, you like hearing about that type of stuff?
No, that's definitely different.
Yeah, you talking about the way you like hear people talk about like sometimes they'll wake up and their body can't move and it's like they feel like a presence sitting on their chest and shit like that. Yeah, that's I'm good on that.
Oh, I don't want to be a part of it, but I love hearing like just thinking about. It would be crazy to witness something. So there's one person who, Mr. Bolin, I've said him before. He tells a story that happened to him. Him and his friends or whatever. They went to a cabin on a mountain, and the mountain. We don't have to talk about the mountain, but anyway, where the room that they were sleeping in was kind of like isolated, almost like an add-on. So you go down this hallway. There's one way in, one way out. So they're all three sleeping, and for like 2 nights in a row, he would have sleep paralysis, and then he would see a figure that. Okay, I don't remember if he heard it walking, but he saw it come in, and then it went to his friend. It dropped down almost like it went into his friend, and his friend like just like he woke up. His friend woke. It's
See, I'm gonna have nightmares just from you telling that story. Because here's what you have to understand, James. I'm the type of person. I hear what you're saying, right? It's just a story. We're not even watching anything. But when I hear it, my mind creates the mental images. Yep. So like as you're telling it, I can see it in my head, and now the image I'm like, I don't want that. Now I'm gonna have issues thinking about that. Thanks, James. I appreciate that.
It was his mom, and she came down to give him a hug. It's
too late. It's already in there. It's already in there. Because you paused the story. It's now if you ended it like that, like, she probably made some cookies. But no, it's in there now, James. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It's okay.
Just if you need therapy.
It's all right. That's a whole nother story. You remember I said I had to be on the call? Oh, shoot. We supposed to move the furniture? Is that?
That is today. That was today. Oh, shoot.
Both forgot, James.
I told her to, because I
both forgot.
I told her I'd be forgetting. You got to send me a reminder.
I forgot too.
So it's probably, I'll reach out.
We both forgot, James. I'm so sorry. Hey, we forgot. If you watch this, we forgot.
We need a secretary.
You know what's crazy? So I know we got the NBA draft on the 20th, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna say for the longest, but for a while, for like this past weekend, or it was either this weekend or Monday. For a while, I was just like, I know there's something that happened on the 20th. And I was like, for the life of me, I was like, for a whole day, I was like, what is, because I remember either I was watching something or I was talking to V. Somehow I heard the date, the 20th, and it triggered the fact that I was like, there's something, the 20th is an important day. Mm-hmm. I know I have something going on. Why I remember the 20th? I don't know. And like it just all of a sudden it just clicked. I was like, a draft.
That is me every week. I know I got somebody. I talked to somebody. I'm supposed to be seeing somebody on Friday. I don't know who it is or what time. Every week. Have you not tried writing these things down? So I even have a little calendar thing on the fridge. I don't know why. I wouldn't call me lazy, but like I'm so stuck. I guess you want to call it lazy, but then you gotta erase it and then put in all the numbers again, and then some months you don't. It would be helpful. Just do it.
You have 3 phones on you at all times, James.
And I'm always getting notifications, so it's to the point where it's like I don't even care about that. I don't listen to notifications.
Yeah, you need a secretary. I don't know what to tell you, man.
But that work notification, it is loud and obnoxious, so that one I can't ignore.
I don't know, man. When I tell you, I struggled to figure out what the date was. I just kept. It's like, and I can't imagine you dealing with this every week, but I was just riding around like the 20th. Mm-hmm. The 20th. Like, you try to say it different ways to jar. 20th. 20th.
It's a Sunday, right? Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, I'm sending messages to remind everybody.
Yeah, I probably won't get a good team.
It depends. I don't want to say it completely depends, but where you are in a draft does help. I would love to be first, second, and third.
I'm not gonna get a good team.
I still be doing this fantasy football. I do not know anything about most of the people I pick.
I feel for old buddy, what's his name, Will, because he came to me today. He said, "Yeah, man, I was able to get in, get my team out." In my mind, I was like, "Bro, you like 0-6. It's over for you. It's over for you, sir. You're not getting to the playoffs. You're not." He was like, "Yeah, I can manage my team." He was asking me. I was like, "Yeah, but it's over. You 0-6."
So did he come in after the draft and like pick up? Because I don't know. I think
it auto drafted for him, and so he's just never been able to get in and manage his team. So he's just been giving people wins because most of his players have been on injured reserve and out. So
I saw the name and I was like, "Is that Allen?"
I played him the first week, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be it." I looked injured reserve, questionable, out. And I was like, "Okay, well maybe he game they came injured reserve." I was like, "Oh, he's just gonna change nobody."
So what upset me is that I had like maybe two tight ends that were injured. So I was like, okay, let me put one in the injury reserve, and then I go pick up one. Nope, you can't have more than two. I have one in the injury reserve. Like, what's the problem?
I was like, I'm not gonna put that in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Because that's what injury reserve is for. It's for injured players. I'm not gonna jinx myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So far, I haven't had to.
How many wins and losses you got?
I'm 4-2.
Okay, I'm 3-3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off bad. I'm gonna start off real bad.
Hey man, just listen. Last year I started off like 5-0, and I went downhill. So it ain't over with.
I remember that everybody was like, "Who gonna get his first loss?"
So don't. Hey. You still got time.
Anything can happen.
You still got time. All right, I got one last would you rather, then we can move on. You ready?
Go for it.
Would you rather
I would.
have to fight alongside the Avengers right? In every battle without any superpowers.
Okay.
Or have to join the crew of the Fast and Furious, but you're only allowed to drive a bicycle. It says drive, but it's meant to say ride. So you with Dom and Letty and all them, but you got a bicycle, or you are basically Hawkeye's assistant.
So people in the Avengers, they die. And
do they though?
Sure, they may come back. So yeah, Iron Man's dead. Captain America, even though that hasn't been on screen, but yeah, he died. And
did Hawkeye die?
What's his name? Scarlet Witch died.
Did Hawkeye die?
Not Scarlet Witch. What is? Give me a second. I'm going to ask you. I'm looking at
Black
her.
Widow.
Yes, thank you. Her. She died. Gamora died. We got a new Gamora. But Hawkeye. No, Hawkeye did not die. I hear you.
So you're saying there's a chance?
People in the Fast and Furious. Though they may look dead. 18 movies later, no, I didn't really die.
I mean, you could have a real strong Huffy bike and be like hitting them curbs like a pro. So
my first thought was, if they are all driving cars and I'm in a bike, well, all the action's over there and I'm back here, so I'm good. Like nobody's gonna hurt me. I'll meet y'all in 2 days.
Or you could be on a bike with one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand holding the car, and they're pulling you along.
True. Moving rider.
He's the best part of One Punch Man. Moving rider.
Where's season 3? What are we doing?
I don't know, man.
It's like Hunter Hunter. Even though Hunter Hunter is coming back.
It is?
Yeah, I think not the anime, the manga. Manga.
I don't care about that. Yeah. I mean, I don't care about that. I'm not gonna read it. So.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm not gonna read it.
I've read. Let me see. The only manga I've read was the Dragon Ball Super after the Tournament of Power. I've read a little bit of Naruto, and I think Naruto has some more English.
I was going to say something.
Okay.
Before you said that, I don't know if this is where you're going, but this is I was going to share this with you and the world apparently.
Okay.
The first time I ever heard about anime, because I heard about anime before I heard about manga. So I got introduced to anime and I started watching that first. Then I learned about these are adapted from manga, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. The first time I heard about that, I just imagined they were all in Japanese or whatever. I was like, because everybody's talking, I read the manga. I was just like, because it was like, because my first thought was like, they're basically Japanese comics that got adapted to anime. So I was just like, well, I know anime is originally in Japanese. So does that make the manga Japanese?
You read Japanese? All these people read Japanese?
So you know how to read random characters? Random lines and sticks?
Kanji.
Side note, me and V, we've been watching the little 90 Day, Before the 90 Day, I think is the show. It's a whole 90-day universe. I don't know if you know what 90 Day is. So there's they got Before the 90 Day, 90 Day Abroad. It's a whole different. 90
Day Fiancé is the only one I know.
Yeah, it's a whole universe. So I was introduced to it. I've seen some of them just passing by, but since dating her, I've been introduced to all of them as well as watching them. So the one we're watching now, there's this lady. I think she's in Japan. She's dating this white dude who comes to live in Japan with her. Is he Japan or Korea or China? I can't remember. But the reason I bring it up is because I thought TV shows weren't accurate. But come to find out they are. Okay.
What makes you say that? Because I feel like no reality show is accurate.
Because when she speaks English, I thought they only sounded like that in the shows. Because his name is I can't remember for some reason drawing a blank on his name. But his brother's name is Jared. So she'd be like, Jared, you go come on. I was like, what? This can't be real. This is not real.
Yeah.
Jared,
I guess it depends, because if you're born over there and you come over here, then there are some I believe there are some I don't want to say letters that they can't say, but like I don't want to come off any kind of way.
No, you good.
So yeah, I mean, and then like custom. So like, what's her name? Glorilla. The way she her pronounces some things, I'm sure she could not do it because I mean she's American, but
it's the southern accent. You can't it's in you. It's ingrained in you.
yeah, because I mean I guess actors. So I mean technically, I guess actors are actors. Not everybody can be actors.
There's a video of Glorilla. It's like she's doing an interview with some dude, and like he kept asking her to say certain words, and he realized it's like a U sound. Every word has like a certain U sound. She says it a different way. And
so the one that pisses me off, and I know I shouldn't feel this way because I mean it's just their accent, it's the way they talk. They can't help it. English people when they say "oh," they add an R in there. No, I can't do it how they do it, but it's like it's just N-O. There's no other letters. You want to
never noticed that one. I
go. I don't. It annoys me so much because it's just. But it's their accent. I understand.
I have to look that up. Because I don't think I know exactly what you're talking about. But I probably have heard it, but I've never really paid attention to it. Mm-hmm. What was the what did you pick? Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, Fast and Furious.
You gonna ride the bicycle?
Mm-hmm. Because that just means that I don't necessarily have to be in action unless, I hold a car. I'm
gonna do Avengers.
Okay. I see. I won't say that.
Me and Hawkeye in the back shooting arrows.
And then you run out, and then you just no more screen time.
Who said we're gonna run out?
You don't have infinite arrows. You don't have any powers.
Once my arrows in, that's the end of my fight. That's
it. You no more screen time. You gone.
Hey, I'm cool with that. But you gonna hear me? Get him, Thor! Yeah, just like that. I taught you. Who's this random person yelling? Yeah.
Unless you got something constructive, get off this call.
Yeah. What I was gonna ask you was because you said it was a movie that you watched. So
Joker and Transformers 1. So I'm sure you've heard about Joker.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
So I'm just gonna say, I don't like musicals.
All right.
But obviously, I mean, I'm open-minded. I'm willing to give it a try. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing. So while the songs weren't all that great, sometimes Lady Gaga was singing for real. Sometimes she wasn't. Mm-hmm. The problem is that when the movie started getting good, that's when they decided to start singing, and it had nothing to do with what was going on right there. I won't say that. It was more like an inner monologue kind of thing.
That was gonna be my question because, even though I'm a fan of musicals, I think there's still most of the musicals I like are that I'm very fond of. The songs make sense. While they're in for instance, Willy Wonka. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you take the music, you can't make the movie without the music, but it makes sense why they're singing to a certain degree. As much as I like Sound of Music, some of the songs they do, some of them don't. But I guess my question about the whole Joker Folie or Deux was when the songs happen. Okay, perfect example. Is the song when the song comes up? Is it in Willy Wonka, where we're obviously building up to this this performance, or is it the music planet on Captain Marvel or the Marvels movie?
Yeah,
where it just comes out of nowhere, hey, there's a planet where people sing.
It definitely comes out of nowhere. Okay, the ones I would say there's maybe one or two where it might go along with the story, but most of them is hey, we're just sitting there in the courtroom, and then all of a sudden Joker's Harley Quinn is on my mind. Harley Quinn. But we were just talking about you murdering these people. It's interrupted because court movies, court TV, they can get interesting when you're in the courtroom, and then you just cut off that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, that's because that is the hard thing about musicals. It's even in a movie like Willy Wonka or Grease, which is another one I love. when the song comes up, it doesn't always like make sense to the movie as far as like the song, but it makes sense. Like it just fits, I guess you would say. But it doesn't sound like they fit.
Most of them is just like, hey, we got this song that we just want to put in the movie. Where can we put it? Like, should we put it here? No, let's put it over here.
The one thing I have heard is that it's what you kind of alluded to already is that like they do, instead of them like singing, they do like a lot of talk singing.
For the most part, there's probably 3 songs maybe where like Lady Gaga actually performs, and there's one like I can think of the set where they are singing, but for the most part, yeah, they're like talk singing.
I don't know how I feel about that.
And I can like I had a lot to talk about. Maybe I will do a review, but it's on that phone that I can't look at. But there's quite a bit. People. Oh, so this may be a hot take, and I know it is because I've heard what people had to say. I actually like the end. I'm not gonna say what the end is, but I liked it. I thought it was very.
I've already heard about the end.
I don't have a problem with them possibly saying that this could be,
I mean, so don't tell them if you don't want.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell me, but I've already heard about what the ending is.
I don't have a problem with it. But the movie, I think, would be good if there was no singing. Probably cut out quite a bit of the movie, but
yeah. I'm not gonna say that saddens my heart, but at the same time, it's like, because like when I heard there was a musical element, I didn't think it was gonna be a big part of it. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, maybe there's some here and there, but like what I'm hearing is like it's a musical.
Yeah, it's. I was thinking 3, maybe like when. And the thing is, when the movie starts, there's like no singing for a good 20, 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be like sporadic, maybe 2 or 3 songs.
Okay, singing aside, let me ask you this question because I've also heard about this as well. How do you feel about the Harley Quinzel character?
So I was gonna say that I thought that she would be more prominent. Obviously, so what I thought they were going to do with her is what they did. She is not. She doesn't matter to the movie.
I heard she's just basically like a fangirl, like a stalker, or whatever.
Well,
I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but that's just what I've heard.
She's definitely a stalker. So one thing that I did like about the movie is that they told us how many people he killed in the first movie. And so it did eliminate some people who was kind of ambiguous.
Okay. Okay.
And then they had, the court stuff was the best part of the movie. So then, they had some people coming back. The little person, he came and, excuse me, he had a pretty good performance.
Also heard that the Harvey Dent character was like arrogant.
I mean, he was in the second movie, Dark Knight. He was in that movie too.
He was arrogant?
Yeah. So I really can't remember, but I remember he was in the truck. Oh, remember the courtroom? Dude put a gun on him. He punched him. He was like, "Is that all?" or something like that.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Maybe not arrogant, but let's just say he was confident. He was confident.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong about him here. I'm just saying I just can't because it's been so long since I've seen that one. I can't remember. The only thing I remember about Harvey Dent is he tried to kill Batman after Joker basically pushed him that way. That's really all I can remember about Harvey Dent.
So yeah, he said I wasn't done with him yet. So he at the beginning, he was dating, Batman's ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
And his confidence, arrogance, I don't think it really came out because it was more like, hey, you're her ex, so it's kind of like, y'all still friends. I can't really hey, leave her alone. It's more like, hey, let's just be cool. But then, when he's like, hey, I got all these gang members and I'm trying to put in jail. Nobody else wants to do it. Everybody thinks it's bad. I'm gonna do it anyway. So he was pretty arrogant.
I could see that. I could just based on how you described it, I could see it being kind of like a mixture of like confidence and arrogance. arrogance at the same time. I can see that. I guess my other question would be, all in all, if you had to give the movie a rating, Joker, Folie, or Deux?
1.5 out of 5. So, it's down there.
Why not 2? You might as well just make it 2.
So, because then that'd be 4 out of 10, and it was when I left, I was thinking 3 out of 10. So you divide 3 by 2, so 1.5.
Okay, Jazz. All right.
Try to do the 1 foot, 2 foot.
Let's take a time out here. Let's take a time out. Right.
3 out of 10. Let's just keep it simple.
Let's take a time out. If you have a rating scale, right, whether it be out of 5 or out of 10, just let that be the rating scale. You can't compare 2 rating scales, because now it just gets confusing. It's like, but which one is it?
1 foot 5. That's the rating scale.
Okay. All right.
5 would be short king. One. So let me see. I say 3 out. I know. Just bear with me.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, I guess that would be. I don't plan on watching. Yeah, so that makes sense. That's 1.5 is and lower is where I would say I wouldn't watch this movie again.
Okay. Would you at least? I mean, obviously, if you wouldn't watch it again, would you at least recommend people to watch it to see it, like, see how they feel about it, or no?
No, I know there are some movies where it's like it's bad, but you should at least watch it one time. I wouldn't even just skip this.
I hear you, man. I still want to watch it just out of curiosity. Say I'm probably not gonna go pay to watch it, but I still would at least. I'd probably wait till it's streaming and watch it. Which I'm not gonna lie, I plan on doing it anyway. So it's really not me making a different decision. I had already planned on waiting till it was streaming. How did you feel about Transformers 1?
Transformers 1.
I was about to say something completely different.
So I enjoyed it. I missed the first 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. There's a James. There's a James I know.
Yeah. I did. So the first thing I noticed is their eyes, and it may be because they go and I don't know how much I should say, but the eyes told me kind of like who was the bad guy, and but otherwise like it. Oh, so I feel like Transformers.
With the movies or just like the actual franchise?
In the franchise. And I'm not saying, I've never gotten into it, just like I've never really gotten into Turtles, which isn't that I didn't want to, I just never watched it. But this movie, like, I know there are some Transformers that I like. I like Megatron, I like Starscream. And Megatron is one of those characters where it's like, he's... People like the bad guy. And, this movie kind of made me think of Dragon Ball Z. So there is a moment.
Okay. I'm following the journey. I'm following.
In Dragon Ball Super, where Goku gets this ability or this transformation called Ultra Instinct. And the way he does it is he starts the Spirit Bomb. And for some reason, he's not able to do it, but the Spirit Bomb kind of gets absorbed into him. Like it looks like it's an explosion that kills him, but honestly, somehow it creates this transformation. So...
Dragon Ball Z just be all over the place. I'm listening though, man.
Optimus, who isn't named Optimus in this movie, he falls into this thing and he becomes Optimus. He gets his power up. So that reminded me of Dragon Ball, and then of course Megatron. Like they came in this movie, they were like buddies, which isn't like Vegeta, because they started off as enemies, but. Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super, he goes one way and he gets this ability, and Goku goes this other way and he gets this ability. So while Optimus is getting his thing, Megatron is getting his thing, and then they come. It was I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am curious to know though, like, how do you? Because since you brought it up, like, how do you feel about like? Because I'll answer that. I'll tell you. Like, how do you feel about like the movies where like? I'm not gonna say they're like retconning or whatever, but like like for instance, Transformers 1, like all the Transformers, Megatron, Optimus Prime have always been like like at each other's throats, right? But then now you go to Transformers 1, it's like, oh, well, they were best buds, whatever, of course, obviously, up until a point, right? Same with like Mufasa. You always grew up thinking Scar was just like, then you find out they do the Mufasa movie, you find out, well, basically, Mufasa basically stole Scar's right, but they grew up being like adopted brothers and friends. Like, how do you feel about movies going back and be like, hey, they were once cool? How do you?
So I think most times it can be done well. I don't know about the Mufasa thing. I haven't seen the movie yet. I know you're just using it as an example.
Yeah.
But if it's done correctly, I like it because it adds things to it. You know, that's how Venom has become quite a bit more than he used to be. I don't know. You just got to do it right. So.
No, I agree with that. I'm trying to think of an example to where it wasn't done right.
That's what I was trying to do.
Because it might have, in our defense, rather, there's not really a lot of movies where they went back and did that. So, but again, like I said, obviously I can't speak with Transformers 1, but per your knowledge, they did it correctly to a certain extent. Mufasa hadn't come out yet, so I don't know what that's like, but just based on the trailer, it seems like it's done fairly well. But I can't think of another example where, like, yeah, they went back and because even with this is probably not the best example, but like with Lego Batman, you know what I'm talking about?
They went back and did something.
So okay, like in in the Batman lore, right? Batman and Joker are always like arch enemies at his throats, and like you got the whole Robin part of it. But in Lego Batman, like it I don't say rewrites, but you have the story of like how Batman adopts Dick Grayson and shows them him going from like being a mentor to a father figure. And then like the whole story of the Joker needs Batman just like Batman needs Joker because they need each other to be coexist, so to speak. But like they never really talked about that story. It's just always been Batman hates Joker.
That is true. That is true. I know Batman has, there's been the whole thing, and I'm sure you've heard of it. Is like people have gotten mad at Batman at some point because Joker is out there killing people, and you have had many times where he could have prevented all these deaths if you just killed Joker.
Oh yeah,
sure you can say, hey, he deserves a second chance one time, but how many chances do we get if he continues to kill people?
This is true.
I had thought about two of them, and I can't remember.
My bad.
No, it's no problem. So Halloween, I never really watched Halloween movies like the old ones. I did watch the new ones. I know, like once you got to like Halloween 4 or 5 and stuff like that, they did kind of switch things up. But one personally that I didn't like is Paranormal Activity. So Paranormal Activity 1 and 2, you had this entity. And then the third movie is like, oh yeah, we did like rituals and put this in the firstborn or something like that. And I was like, no, I liked it more when it was just a random entity. And people, I know everybody loves Paranormal Activity 1. I personally like I won't say I like Paranormal Activity 2 more, but nobody really talks about them after like the first 2.
I checked out at the second one.
Exactly.
Well, the reason why I checked out was because the first one was already pushing it. I only watched the second one because I was like, well, the first one was all right. I could deal with it. And then to me, they got progressively like, all right, this is a bit much for me. I can't do it. So I just checked out.
Oh, while we're talking about scary movies, which is more like gore, but that you start saying, it was the first one was a very low budget, but it was self-contained, just one little room. And then obviously as they made more, they started expanding. Then it was like, oh, well, he's had apprentices, and this guy wasn't the original guy. And I'm like, all right, that's a very good example of retconning where it just went out of control.
Yeah, I think that was it the one that just came out or the one before it, where it basically takes place between like Saw in 2 and 3. Saw it. I'm sounding like old girl. Between like Saw 2 and 3, I think, or something like that.
I can't remember.
I think that's what I think that was because at least that's what I heard somebody say. I don't know how true that is, but
I remember there was one where at the end he ended up putting like one of the original guys or something like that. Because I don't remember, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right. One last thing before we go, James.
Okay.
Very curious to hear you talk about this.
Okay.
I had a lot of other things that we could talk about, but we're gonna kind of keep it time sensitive.
Okay.
Excitement level 1 to 5 of the new Agatha show episode.
I thought about talking about this too. All right, so it seems like we are at the point where we're going to start getting into the meat and potatoes, the gritty, the nitty gritty, and I'm ready to see, because right now what Teen just did is going to shift the show. So now I'm all in. Let's say 4.8.
I mean, I'm a 5, but I was a 5 at the beginning, so that's why I was more so curious to hear your number, because my number is the same. It's 5.
I will say so. Episode 1 was definitely a 4. Episode 2, I was a little bit more, so 4.5, and then it just probably 2, and now we're back up. So,
did you see the mid-season trailer?
I did. It's I mean, it didn't really have to sell me.
Well, I don't think it was probably for like people like us who are already watching or who are already in the whole Marvel world. It's probably for people who don't really care or who are just living their lives like, hey, by the way, magic.
Yeah, this is what's going on.
October.
Y'all missing out.
Yeah, But I just know there's a lot of stuff in the mid-season trailer. I'm just like, why? Why put this in there?
That's very true. So I mean, obviously, you stay up to date on these things, so you know about what's possibly coming in next after not like after Agatha, but the trilogy, WandaVision, Agatha All Along. So
Oh, the Vision show?
Yeah, but I was trying to ask about something else. So we got Teen. Another Teen? Do you know anything about that?
Another Teen?
All right, so potential spoilers if you don't know this.
His brother?
They were saying that, so this show, they found Billy, and now WandaVision, the other one, Vision Quest. That they will have to, is going to have the other brother in it.
I did not hear that.
I was trying to
be honest with you, like, for a long time, I didn't think the Vision Quest show was going to happen. Because it was always like, it's a show, it's not a show. It's a show. Same with Armor Wars. It's a show, it's not a show. It's a show.
That's what I was going to say. Like, they just said that they're kind of incorporating some Armor Wars into it. So now it's not necessarily going to be what it was. So I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. But as a whole, I'm liking the show. I'm definitely excited. Hey man, I'm all in.
So they say DC has the better animated movies. DC has the better shows. Peacemaker, Penguin.
I can't agree with that.
Penguin may not be for everybody.
Here's the reason why I'm saying is like, if you're talking the better shows airing now, yes. But as a whole, I can't say they had better shows.
I agree, because I was sure I was watching. I wasn't watching Legends of Tomorrow. I know you were. Supergirl, I checked out after like the first half of the first season.
Yeah.
Flash, I was in there for a while.
Like Flash and Arrow were like the strongest. Legends of Tomorrow started out probably season 1 or 2, maybe 3, real strong, and then kind of laid off. But like as a whole, like DC shows, because a lot of people give Gotham crap, but I liked Gotham.
I did too.
So, I mean, as a whole, I don't know, but...
And then you have the lesser-known ones like Pennyworth, which you said you've been watching, and then Gotham Knights, which didn't make it, and Batgirl. Yeah. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but then on the other side, you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which some people liked. I never really got into it. The Runaways, which was...
Oh, that was great.
Okay, Inhumans, and... So, they kind of have some hit or misses, too.
Oh, Black Lightning for DC.
I think
DC.
Everybody I know that watched it liked it.
I did, but I don't. My only struggle with Black Lightning was like, it was a good show, but I don't know if I liked it because of the blackness of it, or if it was like I liked it because it was a good show. That's my only struggle with it.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely like pro-black in a lot of things. I was like, I don't know if I liked it because it was like, oh, you know, because like, I don't think you have a lot. I mean, I don't think you had a lot of like black superheroes DC wise on screen. So it was kind of like, oh, Black Lightning, yeah, and then you make him a principal of a school, a predominantly black school, and he got black family love and his daughters, and it's just like, yeah, man, you know, he quoting Martin Luther King, you know, just like, okay,
it's the closest to Static Shock we gonna get.
Man, if we, boy, listen, if they ever made a live action Static Shock, I don't know what I would do, man.
Listen, they got everybody else in the Superman movie. I don't see why not.
You see the picture of Crypto?
Did you see?
He looked mangy.
Did you read the caption? Why he said it's based on like a dog that
he adopted. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have takes on some. I mean, I guess I've never really been a fan of Superman, and I've never really cared for Crypto. So maybe a different take might make me care.
His dog just looks so unkept. Like when I think of Crypto, I think of a sleek white. Strong dog. He's just like, he look like, hey, you Crypto, huh? What?
Let me blow some powers into you.
I was eating this fish bone I found in the trash can, but I can be Crypto.
I'm so random. Like I was gonna say something and you weren't gonna get it, but
I want to know now.
So Annie with the black girl. So in the movie, when they're trying to like make parents, this one was like, lock it. And the way you were just talking made me think of it. I was about to say lock it, but it went with what you were talking about.
Yeah, if you had explained it, I would have got it. Yeah, man, I'm excited for that. There was something else. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but it was one thing I was going to mention. I can't remember now.
Okay. I can't think of anything.
Because I know they casted the Green Lantern guy. Who I've heard great things, but I've also heard mixed conversations about him. Like I've heard, you know, it's a good cast because he's a good actor. But I've also heard a lot of people talking about the colorism as far as like usually the black Green Lantern is usually a lot darker. It's a whole different thing. But I don't know, man.
They don't seem to be.
Oh, you all right?
They don't seem to be not all in. What's the word?
What you mean?
Because, you know, Black Lantern. They are Black Lanterns. I love that story, actually. The Green Lantern, like, they're just like, all right, let's... They casted 2 in the shoot. There's probably going to be a lot more. And there's a lot of Green Lanterns, but it's like, you have a Superman movie, which you have a lot of people in it, which is why I'm like, I need to just disregard what I'm saying. But it's like, we're not focusing on one Green Lantern. It's like they're establishing a universe without doing the establishing first, which could be fun.
I personally am a fan of it. Like, how many times do you need to see origin stories? Like, come on, man.
Which is true. Like,
just let them exist.
I just need to see it first because right now it seems premature.
Just let them exist, man.
Maybe not premature. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But we'll see. It could be good. Like I'm open.
Yeah.
I just at this. So I mean, do we? They haven't. I can't remember if they said that they're trying to get an older Batman so they can have the different Robins.
I don't know if they're trying to. I don't know if they're doing like older as far as like older, but I think he is going to be old enough to where like Damian exists.
Okay.
Because that's a part of the Brave and Bold.
So then he's already had 3 Robins.
Probably, I don't know, but like, I just say let it happen, man.
We'll see.
Because just let it be.
Yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm not against it, but it's just.
I get what you're saying. You want to, yeah. It's hard to visualize it because it's just like everybody just shows up. Hey, Superman, what's up, Batman? Hey, let's go do some world saving.
So you know how I said, well, we don't want to have 2 different Batmans because it'd be confusing. Well, just some random person like, where did all these characters come from?
Yeah.
To me, I feel like that'd be more confusing than just having 2 different Batmans that are obviously different.
Man, I get it, man. All right.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for watching, listening. Rocking with us all the time. We have an Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of it, big and short of it all. Skyla, she does not have a page. I know, I just called.
She should have a page.
She should. We need to take more pictures. Come on. Nope, you gotta look at the camera.
Look at the camera. Look at it. Look. It's okay. You'll get it next time.
But all right, yeah, you can find me on Instagram, HAPPEE __ MILLS. Your tag is tag. Your tail is just a wagon.
You can find me on Instagram at DA_Bear BEAR 29. Do the things on the things, all of the things. New York Knicks world champions. Let's go. I said it here.
World champions. Do we need to talk about that?
I was going to talk about it, but